I like to think that I've given dogs a fair crack of the whip in my videos. You know, I featured loads of dogs in videos over the years. Maybe not enough. Maybe they're jealous that I put loads of cats in videos. Anyway, I've just had my 3rd rabies injection. I've got 2 more to go. I've got 3 tetanus jabs to get as well over the next few weeks. And each one of those injections costs money. That's a private hospital. Anyway, let's tell you the story. Last week I got bitten by a dog. It happened in front of that blue cabin over there behind me. I didn't hear it, I didn't see it. It snuck up behind me and I felt this sharp pain in the back of my left calf. Now initially I thought I tripped over a bit of barbed wire maybe, but when I looked down there was a black dog looking back at me, baring its teeth and growling. We shared a moment for about 3 seconds before I shouted, "Oi!" and it disappeared. Now, before we get into the full story, let's look at the circumstances leading up to this event. So I was walking along this pavement here. It was dark, there was no lighting. And in case you're wondering why I'm in a location like this at night, around the back of Lumpini railway station, well, I was on my way back from filming my Future of the Skytrain video just up the road there. And as I'm walking, this cat comes up to me and starts rubbing up against my leg and my shoe. I filmed it on my phone, as you can see. So it left its scent all over my leg. And I think that is why the dog snuck up behind me. It probably had poor eyesight, thought my shoe was a cat and sank its teeth in. So that is the circumstances surrounding what happened that night and why. You might say it's my own fault. So my immediate thoughts were rabies, infection, get to a hospital fast. I do carry a bottle of alcohol with me, so I started cleaning the wound. I was worried I might start foaming at the mouth or there'll be dog hairs growing out of the wound, or worse still, it could have been a wolf. I didn't get a good look at it. And maybe next full moon I might start growing hair and howling at the sky, biting people on the streets of Bangkok. I'll have Blade chasing after me as well. I know, that's vampires, isn't it? But it was a good thing I was carrying alcohol because you can never be too sure. So I knew the nearest hospital was about 10 minutes walk away, but I was in a hurry, so I was more like speed walking and stopping every minute or so to check the wound. There was a lot of blood coming out, dabbing it with a tissue soaked in alcohol. And it seemed like an eternity to get to the hospital, but I made it, and it turned out to be Samitivet Hospital, right on the edge of Chinatown, and it's a private hospital, so I thought, shit, this might be a little bit expensive, but it's the only place nearby. I could have sort of hung on a bit, maybe jumped in a tuk-tuk and gone up the road to Chulalongkorn Hospital, which is a government hospital. Probably would have cost about a third of what I paid. Anyway, I went in the hospital, filled a form out. They sat me in a wheelchair, took me round to where they were going to give me the injections, dress the wound. I was in good hands. They gave me 3 antibiotic injections around the wound. They gave me a tetanus injection. They gave me a rabies injection. Packed the wound out, the hole where the tooth went in with gauze or whatever it is, and basically patched me up. And I felt fine. It was hurting quite a bit when it happened, and it was still sort of throbbing. The doctor said to me, it may well get infected, and the side effects from all the jabs I had would be fever, muscle pain, very, very tired feeling, and I might have to, you know, get a good rest. a lot of stray dogs here in Bangkok, and I have had a rule for many years: I don't touch them under any circumstances. As for cats, you know, people do ask me about the cats in my videos. Am I scared of getting scratched or bitten? Yes, I am, you know, and maybe you can get rabies or some other nasty infection, but I'm very fussy about the cats I touch. I don't touch street cats that look unhealthy, skinny, dirty, climbing around the garbage bins. Those are completely out of bounds. You're going to catch some kind of bacteria or fleas. I only touch cats that are healthy looking, well fed, clear eyes, shiny coats, have collars, might be someone's pet, or in a park, like Lumpini Park. The cats in there are pretty much domestic cats. They're well fed, probably get fed more times a day than your cat at home. They're used to people, they have clear eyes, they have shiny coats, all that kind of thing. Yeah, I have been scratched once by a cat in Lumpini Park. I cleaned it with alcohol immediately, and I was worried for a few hours afterwards, but nothing happened. So let's talk about money. It cost me almost 12,500 baht to get out of the hospital that night. That included all the treatment, the dressings, the 3 antibiotic shots I had in the wound, the antibiotics and the painkillers I had to take over the next 7 days, my first tetanus jab, my first rabies jab. Then you've got to go back for 3 more rabies jabs, 2 more tetanus jabs. Each one of those costs around 1,300 baht. Add to that transportation to and from the hospital for that, and you're talking around 20 to 21,000 baht, a lot of money. I'm sure there are cheaper private hospitals. Government hospital would have cost about a third of that. But at the time, I was bleeding, I was stressed, I wanted to get to any hospital at any cost. I didn't care at the time. So you can understand that. Insurance, I wasn't insured. It had expired about 1.5 years before. I was pretty relaxed about renewing it because in 15 years I've never really been ill. I've never made any claim. I've never been to hospital or had an accident. So you can understand my nonchalant attitude towards that. But I was thinking about this. If I had insurance, would it be guaranteed that they would pay up? Because you've got to think of the location I was in. I was down a side street, around the corner from Lumpini railway station. There were no street lights, it was night time, the last train had gone, so they would look into this kind of thing, and it wouldn't be difficult to see the timings on the receipts. You know, if they did do a bit of an investigation, I couldn't just say, oh yeah, I was round the corner having a smoke, waiting for the train. So it's not a given that they would have coughed up. If you do have an accident, you've got to read the small print on the terms and conditions or whatever, because they make up about 10 pages of this sometimes, knowing that you probably won't read it. And you do hear about people having accidents and the insurance company not paying up, and they find themselves sort of stuck in a hospital after surgery, not enough money. They do GoFundMe campaigns. So you definitely want to avoid that situation if you have an accident. What have I taken away from all this? Well, I'm going to be a bit more wary when I walk through streets at night, places where there could be packs of dogs. I got bitten by a dog at the age of 5, and my dad always said to me, never show fear, because dogs will interpret that as hostility. And especially at night, when there's no humans around to calm these dogs down, you know, these dogs might be sort of fed by the local people, and those people can sort of have some control over them. And when you do walk through a soy at night and there's a pack of dogs up ahead, you know, they will start barking because you're about to walk through their territory, and they are very territorial. So when I've come across this situation, I always thought, you know, I was a bit of a master at dealing with this. I'd walk through, you know, I'm Wellard, you know, I'm the boss. And dogs won't latch on to any fear. If anything, they'll think, oh right, he's bigger than us. so we won't, you know, attack him. So I had a lucky escape, I think. The cut didn't get infected. I didn't have any side effects from the medications, even though the doctor said I probably would. There is advice you can take away from this video as well. And, you know, I hope you found it interesting, exciting. It wasn't exactly a white knuckle ride roller coaster of a story, I know, but I just thought I'd share my experience. So please subscribe if you haven't already done so. Like, share, leave a comment. If you want to support me and support the channel, you can do so via the Buy Me a Coffee link on the screen. There's also links to Ko-fi and PayPal in the description. You can join the channel and become a member. That just leaves me to say, I hope I don't get bitten by another dog, and I'll see you later.